Anyway, Tigers, they're playing these late night games. They may be not on your radar. They've lost all of them. They've lost 4 in a row, 3 straight to the Sacramento A's. And John, our question is something or nothing.
Okay, it's something in regards to the starting pitching. It's nothing in regards to how it affects the Tigers and getting to the postseason. That's probably a way oversimplification, but that's how I see it.
Yeah, they're still 8.5 up in the division. They're going to have Kansas City coming up this weekend. Barring some sweep, I don't think anybody's panicking. The concern is about starting pitching. Casey Mize pitched last night, and he got hit up again. His last 8 starts, he has an ERA of 7.20. I'll say that again, 7.20. That's a guy who was the number 2 in the rotation. He was an all-star, and now I have no idea what the hell to do with him. They don't have a number 2 pitcher. And if you don't have quality starting pitching, you're going to tax a bullpen of reclamation projects. You're not going to have a chance to go anywhere once you make the postseason, because I still think they're making the postseason. I don't think anybody's panicking about that. In that way, it is nothing to lose these 3 games. But it's something that we don't have a number 2 starting pitcher right now.
It's frustrating. It is certainly concerning. And how do they manufacture innings from a staff that your starting pitching is unpredictable?
Because the issue is we were already discussing, hey, we need to get this bullpen shored up, right? You asked AJ Hinch about it. He goes, hopefully we can do it sooner rather than later. Well, instead of asking these guys to pitch 2 or 3 innings, you're going to start asking them to pitch 4 or 5 innings. And now you do not have the depth you had last year with pitching chaos, and you are begging to be bounced early. Now, the good news is you got 27 more games, and you got a month to figure it out. But John, I don't know who it is, because Morton got hit up in this series. Flaherty has been inconsistent. Casey Mize, since early July, hasn't been good enough. And Paddock's throwing today. He hasn't inspired anybody. I know they'll get Reese Olson back for the playoffs, but the thought is he's going to be a bullpen arm, not like a innings eater.
They're hoping to get him back for the playoffs.
I know. Not a guarantee.
Don't know if they will or not.
So then do you bring up Melton? If you make him a starter, it solves the problem in the short term. But if you're managing his innings, you might not have those innings when you really need them in the postseason. So are they going to maybe ramp him up in late September? If they don't have any other option, John, I think they have to.
Well, I think they have to, yeah. And I don't know what the unwritten rules are for a young pitcher. If you're in the ALCS, do you not pitch him because of some predetermined pitch or innings limit? Like, I don't think you can do that. You've got to try and get to the World Series, and then the same thing in the World Series. It repeats itself.
Right, because at some point you have to go for it. I know their thing is we're going to be good forever, and we're going to play the long game. We're not going to trade our top prospects. We're not going to rush McGonigal. We're not going to burn the innings on Melton. If you're 8 wins away from winning the World Series,
and I gotta
throw
believe
him a couple extra innings.
And I got to believe if you ask the athlete, like, hey, I know that we're reaching your innings limit that we had talked about back in, July, but do you want to pitch in the World Series?
Hello.
I mean, that seems like an easy answer to me.
So we're working with numbers here. Melton's previous career high in innings pitched, 2024, he threw 100.2 innings. This year he's up to 75.
Right, so how far above that 100.2 innings?
Does he have another 50 innings to get to 125? Can he get to 150? Because if he can get to 150, then you're fine.
I would think, and I would think at some point that number is irrelevant.
Correct.
It's about the wins. That's the number that is relevant. It's 3 in a 5-game series and 4 in a 7-game series.
Quick math. Actually, he's up to 102 innings now. I had to add his majors plus his minors. So he's at where he basically at a career high innings right now, and that's what they're going to be juggling down the stretch. But he's been
good.
Yeah, he's been very good. Let's get to Sam on a cell. Sam, good morning.
Hey, good morning. So this is just me, my opinion. I think it's something. I think they need to address the pitching as soon as possible because, I'm sure we'll get to the postseason, and if they've been pitching like they have been, and they lose a key game, then that game could cost them the whole series and the postseason. So They need to address it.
How, Sam? I'm not trying to be smarmy. Like, what's the answer? That I'm not supposed to talk about the deadline, but it's over. So what do you do now?
I don't know what to do. I'm not, I have no clue what to do, but it's just, it's something that needs to be addressed. Either more training, work more. I have no idea. That's just my concern, the pitching. It could cost us the World Series.
I'm right there. I think that's a great read of the situation. And we've got text this morning talking about, hey, this is why Fedor's supposed to be the real deal, right? This is why A.J. Hinch is thought to be a great manager. They're going to have to mix and match. They're going to have to stumble into a strategy because they just don't have the horses right now. Rich in Livonia, good morning. You're on 97.1.
Hey, good morning, team. So wanted to jump in a little bit about last night and just the observations over the weekend, or over the last 3 days. It just seems as if it was either hit really hard or it was maybe a swing and miss, but everything that they were dishing up to the A's was just pounded, which is a dangerous team. I do not want to face them if, we end up getting to the postseason. Just really looks like a dangerous team. But outside of that, from a pitching standpoint, I think they go back to the bullpen by designation and roll one of their starting roles where they just have, the bullpen deployment. Go back to that and try to see if that's going to spark something, because it just doesn't seem like, they're pitching to contact, and the contact is hard. So, but it's nothing that I'm really too upset or scared about yet, but we're getting close.
They're running out of time to figure it. Yeah, they're running out of time to figure it out. It's all well and good to be searching for solutions in late August. Mm-hmm. You don't want to be searching for solutions in late September. But John, let's go.
But okay, so what do they do? What is the solution? You're not going to add arms.
No, you can't. They have what they have, and Finnegan's been a really good addition, and you feel good about him in the 8th or the 9th or the leverage spot. But you got to get there, and you like Vest, but you got to get there. And if you're going to use Melton to open games, he's no longer that bridge guy that you highlighted. And maybe it's Tyler Holton, but I feel like he's been more uneven this year than last year. And you start to really run through it. You don't have the depth you had a year ago. Not out of the bullpen.
No, but it's up to AJ and Chris Fedor to figure out what is the favorable matchup for this pitching staff. And it's trying to put that Rubik's Cube all back together where you're looking at a 5-game series and you're saying, well, in this one, we want to use Melton as an opener and Flaherty as a long reliever because we like the matchups better later in the game. I don't know. I'm making things up because I don't know what they know.
Well, they should have a whiteboard and they should be talking through all of it. Everything should be on the table right now. Ticket text 248-539-9797. Guys, right now, even Skubal isn't pitching great. They don't have enough pitching. Well, and you see what happens if you lose the Skubal start.
Yeah. That he's the one that's supposed to always keep you on track. And fair, not fair. That's the expectation.
And it really feels like all the teams they may face in an ALCS or an ALDS have a steadier rotation.
And I know last year when they were on this great run, right, there was one where Skubal lost and everybody thought, oh, well, it's over. Because that is the expectation that you can count on a Skubal win.
John, I know I'm not everybody's cup of tea, but have I said something outrageous in the first 12 minutes of this hour? Because this text says, guys, it's 8 a.m. Eastern. I'm just starting to listen. I want to make sure someone calls in to tell Costa to shut up his prediction hole.
No, it's probably a reference to your demanding apologies on Monday.
Was I wrong to do that? We can explore. We'll keep the conversation rolling. 97.1.